My next guest had to flee the Pimicikamak Cree Nation in Manitoba in order to protect his family of 8. William Thomas joins us now from Niagara Falls, Ontario, where he has been relocated to. Thanks so much, William, for your time. And let me just start by asking you, how are you and how is your family doing?
Hi, Sarah. We're doing good. Thanks for speaking with me today. Yeah,
No,
we were evacuated from. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, talk to me about that evacuation. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, the experience the experience here in Niagara Falls, it's been really it's been positive. The Red Cross and the local community have been incredibly welcoming. They've been caring. We feel respected and well looked after here. It's there's a real sense of compassion and dignity, and how they treated us here.
And so what was that evacuation like? At what point did you learn that you were going to go to Niagara Falls, and how long or where had you been staying to that point?
We stayed in, we left Cross Lake. I'll just tell you my story here on when we evacuated. Okay. So we left in Cross Lake on May 28th. We stayed with a family friend up in Norrie House, Manitoba. The community there, it's so kind and so welcoming. There's been, then we flew out on the 30th on the plane you've seen there, the Hercules military plane to Winnipeg. So we stayed with a family member for a few days, and then, but the living situation became uncomfortable, because we stay with a family member. There's restrictions with the leases, so we didn't want to cause issues. And then I seen the chief made a Facebook post about if anybody wanted to go to Niagara Falls. So I volunteered my family. We flew into Hamilton last night, and we took a bus to Niagara Falls.
I see that picture of you and the kids strapped into the netting of the Hercules aircraft.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in one actually as a kid. My dad was in the military. So what was it like for your kids?
It was loud. It felt, they play video games, so they were okay with it. It was kind of loud, elders there and kids crying, but we made it out safe. So that's the important part.
Tell me about the fact that it's Niagara Falls where you've all ended up here. And we're talking about 600 of your neighbors, people from your area, all in, I think, different hotels in Niagara Falls. Why Niagara Falls, do you think?
I think it's just become a logistics number. Like there's no hotels in Winnipeg that were accommodating us. So I feel for the chief. He had to make the calls to the ministers and stuff, and he arranged everything for us to get sent out here.
Have you got any sense as to how long you might be in Niagara Falls?
No, I haven't heard a specific date or how long. And like the chief went on live there this afternoon, and it seems pretty sad back home, seeing all the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you, you're talking, I'm sure, to other evacuees, neighbors, perhaps. What do you know about your community and your home they've had to leave behind?
Yeah, it's been real sad, and but most of us, we're doing okay. We're safe, we're fed, and we have a place to stay. But emotionally, people are lonely, and they're missing their families, our home community. And Pimicikamak, it's more than a place. It's it's our culture, our support system. It's our identity, and being far away, not knowing when you can go home is very hard.
William Thomas, wish you well, and I really hope the best for your home and for your community. Thank you so much. It's William Thomas. He is a Pimicikamak Cree Nation evacuee transported to Niagara Falls. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's stay on this story now and turn to the chief of Pimicikamak Cree Nation. He has been busy helping with these evacuations in the news the last few days. And he's joining us now from Cross Lake in Manitoba. Chief David Monias, thank you so much for making the time for us. I know how busy you've been. I've been watching your videos that you've been posting on Facebook, and you've been detailing this evacuation process. How has it been for you?
Well, it's been very frustrating in terms of trying to get people out. And first of all, the bureaucratic process that we have to go through, and getting a lot of people out as well is been difficult because it's people don't think it's real sometimes, and then that's why we have some more people that are still here. And that's why I'm still here. I mean, that I can't leave until my people are gone, and maybe make sure that everybody's safe. I mean, material things can be replaced, but lives cannot be replaced. So we got to make sure we make every effort to get people out. But at the same time, we're trying to make sure we do a lot of advocacy. There's a lot of lessons learned in terms of things that need to improve. So I've been calling out on the government of Manitoba and also Canada in terms of how to help us out here, because we have a state of emergency, and we have an opportunity to do a lot of things differently and not be bogged down by bureaucratic systems or protocols and jurisdictions. So the fire does not know jurisdictions.
No, of course. Chief Monias, I was, on the night that this first began, I was referencing some of your Facebook posts that you were putting up. You were urging people, if they were in their house and they needed a ride, come out to the street and wave you down. It was that kind of grassroots of an action that was going on to try and get people. The fact that there are those efforts you've put in place, and there are still people who are there. I mean, that has to be, what are those conversations like as you try to urge people to leave? Are they resisting, or are they just not aware?
Well, I think some of them are just resisting, and they don't feel like it's real. And so, like yesterday was a big awakening for them, because when we had the sky and just literally turned black, and the winds are blowing, gusting, and stuff like that. As the Hercules was here, all of a sudden we got calls and said, we need to go. I'm going now, come pick me up, and so forth. So we had that kind of situation, and I think that somebody came here, running here, all hyperventilating, says, I want to get on a plane. Plane's gone already, You got to wait out for next time. So, and it's been just trying to educate people and tell them it's real. I keep posting information, pictures of the fire. Went on helicopter to have first-hand experience to see where the fires are, so I can tell people where it is.
Yeah, and we're looking at the video you posted of people boarding on that Hercules, hoping to get out. I'm wondering, how many people do you anticipate are still there and need to get out over the next, hopefully, one day, but potentially a couple, I suppose? How many?
Well, we have 130 essential services. Those are firefighters, police, myself, mayor and council. We have security, and then we have our safety officers. We have our land-based people that are helping out, that are preparing the boats and everything like that, just in case we have to go on the water. And we also have approximately about 50 people that are still left. And there's a plane that's coming at 9:10 to pick those people up. So we're going door to door and just say, it's mandatory, you're going.
I wonder if, to the point where you're saying some people may not have believed it was all that real until very recently. They also may have been paying attention to, the stories told by their neighbors who ended up in, unfortunately, in Norway House, not enough accommodation for them. And we understand that the trek to get to Norway House was quite the ordeal. And perhaps that's a bit of a deterrent. Are you able to say to them now with any certainty, listen, it's not a nice place, it's not your home, but we've got a good option for you, a place to go?
No, I can't say that we have a nice option for you, because it is, they're leaving their homes, they're leaving their community, they're leaving their lands, and they're leaving their pets, because some people could take them, some people can't, and so forth. And, I feel sorry for my people, because they're being uprooted and displaced, and they're not getting the proper services that they're supposed to be getting. And they're crying for that, and, they've been calling us, they've been posting things. And we understand what there should be better systems in place for them. Somebody should be meeting them with buses, water, food, toiletries, to make sure that everything's proper. Instead, they're waiting for hours on hours and hours to just get processed first before they even get a hotel. And that's the whole problem about this whole system. So it needs to be revamped, and it needs to be changes. And we've done this 2 years ago when we had the evacuation. We had to do it ourselves. And again, this First Nations are coming together to kind of make it work.
Well, we're all watching your community very closely, and I'm sorry to hear that there are so many people still there and that you are there still trying to get them out. But Yeah. As I say, watching your Facebook pages and for all of your updates, Chief David Monias, Chief of Pimicikamak Cree Nation, joining us from Cross Lake, still there in Manitoba. Thank you so much for your time and your efforts.
All right, thank you.